You're on a road trip across the states, driving along a scenic road somewhere in the mountains when you spot a deer up ahead on the side of the road. As you approach the deer, you begin to notice something. It looks wrong. Zombie-like. No worries, zombie deer aren't a real thing yet. However, there is a disease that can get them pretty close to that. Chronic wasting disease, or CWD for short, is a prion disease that infects cervids like deer, elk, moose, and caribou. CWD and all prion diseases are always fatal and have no known cure at the moment. Prions are proteins in the body that spontaneously misfold, resulting in a protein that can not only no longer do its job, but also corrupt other proteins into doing the same thing. Prions will then clump up into groups inside of nerve cells and prevent them from sending important signals to the body. They cause the brain to take on a more sponge-like appearance due to tiny holes and are always fatal. The average lifespan of an infected deer is around 2 years, but seldom more. To clarify, prions can develop anywhere in the body, not just the brain. However, our bodies can typically clear them out and continue functioning like normal. However, with proteins in the brain, or PRP, that's not the case. Once they misfold, they tend to spread like crazy. Scientists also believe that it is possible that prions develop in the body and then travel up through the spinal cord up to the brain. Prion diseases can also be genetic. CWD, similar to scrapie in goats and sheep, bovine spongiform encephalopathy in cows, and Creutzfeldt-Jakob's disease found in humans, is a prion disease that is found in cervids. What sets all of these diseases apart, besides the species they infect, is the way the proteins misfold. For example, a protein in a deer's brain is folded slightly differently than one in a cow's brain. Symptoms of CWD include weight loss as if wasting away, drooling, drooping ears, a lack of coordination, and zero aversion to humans. What's interesting is that you could look at a deer displaying all of these symptoms and assume it has CWD, but you would never truly know until after death because proper diagnosis typically requires a brain tissue sample. CWD threatens not only cervid species in the hunting scene, but also the environment. When prions are exposed to an area, they stick around for a very long time, and it's insanely difficult to get rid of them. A deer may expose to these prions through contaminated water or eating grass that an infected deer drooled on, and then contract the disease. Because prions like to persist in an environment, this leaves soil, water sources, and other organisms at risk of long-term contamination. Currently, there is no known evidence of CWD being transmitted to humans through casual contact like just petting a deer. However, eating contaminated meat, especially brain or spine, isn't recommended and is insanely risky given our lack of knowledge. Prions are still a huge mystery to us. We still don't understand exactly how or why they occur, the spread of prions in the brain, how to effectively eradicate them from an environment, and whether or not the prions from a deer can jump to humans, but that's what makes it such an interesting topic that we can hopefully continue to study and advance our knowledge of in the future.